ano, broken hearts as well para lang maka-cope tayo dito sa bansa na 'to. But in the long run anyways, I would say that I love Australia. It's my second home, and I am so grateful in this country. Sobrang nagpapasalamat ako sa Diyos na dito niya ako dinala kasi napaka napaka-fair ng Australia. Magtrabaho ka lang dito ng mabuti, ayusin mo lang yung mga ginagawa mo and you can be the best of who you can be. So, yeah.
Isa na namang isa na namang episode ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong araw na ito dito sa Almost Australia. Kamustahin natin si Jenlyn Davis. Kamusta ka na?
Ayos naman, Miko. Kumusta ka?
Ayos naman. So, Jenlyn, so nag-migrate ka from the Philippines over 15 years ago. Can you share ba yung journey mo of moving to Australia at saka yung what motivates you na bakit yung decision mo naging na mag-migrate sa Australia?
Miko, actually, yung sa akin is a bit different because the reason of coming to Australia as a migrant ay hindi talaga not like most of the other Filipinos are because of work. But for me, it's a bit different. So mine is a love story. So I married an Australian guy, and that's the reason why I was able to migrate in Australia. So yeah.
Oh, love story. Paano ka nagkilala?
Wow. Oh, that was like 20 years ago now. Online. So, eto pa yung mga Yahoo chatroom, wala pang Facebook. I think nag-start yata Friendster at that time. So, sobrang obsolete na. So, yeah, it started na ganon. And then, email, works, phone calls, lahat. Maraming, kumbaga mahal na overseas phone calls and all that. So, yun yung start namin. But, Rob was always been in the Philippines. He's doing some martial arts in Cebu. So, medyo familiar na rin siya sa kultura natin. Alam niya na yung kung anong klaseng culture meron tayo. Parang he loves the Philippines. That's one thing that I like about him. Gusto niya yung Philippines. But it took us 4 years. So parang 4 years na LDR. At that time, I was a single mom. So, I was actually 3 months pregnant with my firstborn when I met Rob. So it started as a friend and eventually becomes, after knowing each other through phone calls and emails, and then nagkita rin kami. He went to the Philippines and see us. So, yeah, that's the start.
So parang so it's kakaiba yun, di ba? More on, wala pa atang mga social media during that time. Meron din, pero not yet. Wala pang Facebook. I remember Friendster kasi usog-uso yung Friendster sa Pilipinas. So, is that through the friend of friend? Kaya mo siya nakilala?
No. Actually, because I was emotionally distressed at that time. So my sister was working in Singapore. So ang only way of communicating with her was Yahoo chat. Alam mo yung Yahoo chatroom? So dun kami ng kapatid ko nagkikita. And then you will go to a private room chat or something. Actually, ako ang unang nag-DM sa kanya. Hindi ko alam kung anong tawag na before, but kasi ang handle niya is Filipino word. Guapo maldito ang kanyang handle name. Ang sabi ko, alam mo naman ako, chusera din ako minsan. Sabi ko sa kanya, sino nagsabi sa'yo guwapo ka? Tapos sabi niya, so sumagot siya, sabi niya, I just knew it. Ay ko, kapal na mukha nito. Alam mo yan, parang nayabangan ako sa kanya. So, yun lang, hindi ko na siya pinansin. Tapos, the next day, nandun ulit siya. Ay, naghihintay ako sa kapatid ko. So, wala lang, deadma lang. Tapos yun, I think doon na nag-start. Parang, sabi niya, Inglesero nga, parang ganun. Kasi hindi ko alam na Australian talaga siya. Wala akong idea. Tapos, nung tiningnan ko yung kanyang Yahoo profile, sabi ko, shucks, ang gwapo naman ito. Ang gwapo, as in, ang haba ng buhok. Alam mo yun, tapos may kasama siyang, parang Spanish-looking guy siya. Sabi ko, oh, okay ah. Yun pala, hindi pala siya yun. So, parang inamin na lang niya sa akin nung nag-chat-chat na kami. So, parang, alam mo yun. Yun. So, it started like that na, okay. Pero ang gusto ko sa kanya, he was mabait talaga. Alam mo yung klase ng taong, dahil nga meron akong issue at that time, he was there na parang siyang nag-encourage sa akin na umuwi sa amin at sabihin sa family ko na buntis ako kasi ang plano ko, hindi ako magsasabi. I felt like such a failure, Miko, to be honest. You know, I was just opening up with you na, you know, I was an achiever. And then suddenly, naging single mom ako, nabuntis ako na hindi ako pinanagutan. I was such a failure at that time. That's how I felt. And he was the one who encouraged me to tell my family, tell my parents, na, you know, hindi dapat, tabu kasi sa atin yun eh. During those times, 20 plus years ago, hindi pa sa atin masyadong na-open up ang pagiging single parent. So, yeah, dun ko nakita na, wow, okay to ah. Parang hindi niya ako janudge, wala siyang sinabi sa akin na hindi maganda. Actually, it was all positive and encouraging. And that makes me feel like, wow, dependable tong taong to yeah, and that's the start of the friendship, and then eventually it blossoms into, you know, liking each other, and yeah.
So, siya yung knight in shining armor mo at that time.
Oo, yun. Parang, kasi wala siyang anak eh. Wala siyang anak. So, parang excited siya for my child at that time, na parang he never had a chance to be a father, and for him, kung tatayo siyang tatay nitong batang to, nakita ko yung excitement kasi parang sa Pinoy, di ba, parang parang meron kang baggage na dala, parang baka hindi ka tanggapin ng family nung alam mo yun, yung mga ganung mindset sa utak ko. So yeah, it was really I would say he was actually a breath of fresh air when we're talking about all this. And yeah, it was really encouraging. At saka nakita ko na parang yun yung chance ng anak ko na magkaroon ng magandang kinabukasan sa ibang bansa. Kasi hindi siya tatawaging bastarda, hindi siya tatawaging, alam mo yun, inabandon na siya and all that. So, para sa akin, naging na rin ako naging selfish na rin ako in a way na, hindi to para sa akin, para to sa anak ko. So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Filipino talaga yung parang gusto nilang mag-abroad para sa kanilang mga anak. They sacrifice para sa kanilang mga anak. So you say it's more on different ang nangyari kaya ka nakapunta sa Australia, no? So sa mga Gen Z, yung Yahoo, sikat na sikat yun, yung Yahoo Messenger. Baka yun ang aming ginagamit kung kayo mga batang 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Yan ang mga ginagamit, mga Friendster, Multiply, yung mga photos, Multiply. So, yan. So, hindi ka ba nagulat? Kasi, you said, kasi kung kung mga Pilipino yan, siguro kung meron pang marites, marami na yan dahil hindi niya tiningnan na excess baggage kasi talagang he's into you kahit na may ganyan kasi alam mo naman kultura ng Pilipino yung iba ay iba na yung masasabi, but hindi ka ba nagtaka at talagang wala siyang pakialam kung meron kang ganyan basta mahal ka niya o mahal ka ng husband mo ngayon?
Yun ang the best na nangyari. I was in a corporate world at that time na nangyari sa akin yun, Miko. And, oh my goodness, the marites is, alam mo na, buntis, laging pumunta sa toilet. And then, pagka nandun sila, alam mo yung pinag-uusapan nila in the toilet room, yung marites in the toilet room na hindi nila alam na nandun ka. Alam mo yun, yung mga ganun, dami kong mga experience na ganun na kasi wala akong sinabi sino na, siguro ba very very specific close friends lang ang nakakaalam kung sino yung tatay ng anak ko and all that. So and the good thing about Rob was hindi niya ako tinanong kung sino, hindi niya ako actually sabi ko si Jericho Rosales kasi he was my favorite, and alam mo super crush ko talaga si Jericho. And di ba, nandito siya dahil nakapag-asawa siya ng taga South Australia, si Kim. And one time I saw him in Rondell Mall. Nag-aaral pa ako ng tourism. Oh my goodness, talaga hinabol-habol ko siya. Tapos hiwaga ko si Ram, sabi ko, uy, nakita ko si Jericho. Sabi niya, ba't di mo hinabol? Parang sinabi mo na may anak ka sa kanya. But yeah, it was as I've said, it's a taboo. It's so hard to tell to anyone. I wasn't really confident enough, as much as I am a very confident person, to discuss about it. So, ang pinaka talaga nagustuhan ko kay Rob, hindi siya nagtanong. Wala siyang tinanong kung anong past. It doesn't matter to him. He's not even interested. So, para sa akin, ang dali kong nag-move on. Para sa akin, ang way for me to nakalimutan yung past and move on to the present life na mayroon ako was actually an easy transition. A very easy transition. At saka yung trust mo rin sa kanya na, tsaka alam mo na rin na hindi judgmental kasi mga puti dahil kultura naman nila yun, nagde-divorce naman. Meron namang divorce dito, yung mga ganun ba. So yeah, it was actually so easy for me. I mean, hindi ako nag-adjust, wala akong pinakasamaang iba. Yun. So, yeah.
Pwedeng pa sa pelikula yung story.
Yes. And mahal na mahal niya yung anak ko, Miko. That was the biggest consolation na hanggang ngayon, Zuriel is already 20, almost 20. Sila talaga yung magka-close. Sila talaga yung, kumbaga, talagang sobrang, yung bonding nila mas matindi pa kaysa sa mga tunay niyang anak, to be honest. So, yeah.
So, nung nagkita na kinasal na kayo ni Rob, and then, ano bang nakikita mo ba na talaga magpo-migrate ka sa Australia? Ano yung mga challenges mo nung sinabi niya, okay, we go from Philippines to Australia? Ano yung challenges mo at paano mo na-overcome yan?
Ours is so different again, Miko. I came to Australia first time after, so kinasal na kami nito, 2007. Kinasal na kami and all. Inaayos na namin yung papers. Actually, ako yung nag-aayos ng papers. Though I was working in a corporate at that time. So sabi ko sa boss, siguro mga 2 years pa, tapusin ko yung contract. Bigyan mo ako ng 2 years na contract. I-file namin yung application, and then I will take it easy. I'll take it easy. Hindi pa ako masyadong excited pumunta ng Australia, to be honest, Miko, at that time. Parang gusto ko yung work ko, tsaka siguro gusto ko munang palakihin ng konti yung bata. She was 3 at that time eh. So, dito na siya 4 years old actually. At saka nakikita ko na mahirap yung lifestyle sa Australia. Wala kang katulong, hindi ako masyadong domesticated na tao. So, hindi ako masyadong, kumbaga, hindi ko masyadong gusto yung ganong klaseng lifestyle. But anyways, ang start ng Australia ko was really, really difficult. It was a big challenge kasi Rob got sick. Kinasal kami ng May. That September, naka-receive ako ng phone call from Australia that he was really very sick. Actually, he was in ICU. It was not good for him. So, emergency visa ang nangyari sa akin. So, that was a Friday afternoon. Monday, nandun ako sa immigration. Sa Makati pa yon dati. I went there to have an emergency visa. And, na-approve yung emergency visa ko ng Tuesday, the next day. And then Wednesday, lumipad na ako ng Australia. So, for me, ang bungad ng buhay Australia sa akin was in the hospital, ICU. Someone that is almost not gonna make it. And yeah, it was tough. Really, really tough. Tapos iba yung nila eh, iba yung accent nila. Cause Rob always goes to the Philippines. So parang natuto na siyang isama dun sa kung paano tayo maintindihan yung accent nila. Pagdating ko rito, grabe. Ibang klase. Buti na lang, ang nag-aalaga sa kanya sa IC was a Filipino eh. And then, so yeah, it was a really, really tough times, I would say. But yeah, praise the Lord. We were able to go and, I went through all that. Though hindi talaga madali. I must admit, it was one of the toughest, probably, part of being a new migrant here. Ang naranasan ko at that time.
So sabi mo yung language is different as well. And paano mo na-adapt yung sarili mo sa culture ng Australia? Kasi di ba may differences ng culture tsaka lifestyle changes din sa Australia from the Philippines. And then, during that time, talagang kakaiba yung pagpunta mo sa Australia. It's not like plan. Kasi iba, talagang ibang nagmamigrate dito is they plan ahead. But yung sa'yo, it's kakaiba.
Yeah. Hindi talaga planano. Ang una kong naisip was, because he was in ICU, naka-life support siya at that time, naputol yung paa niya. He was on kidney dialysis, so it was a mess. Ang iniisip ko na talaga was, shucks, kaya niyang bayaran to? Like, kaya namin bayaran tong medical bills na to? Syempre wala akong alam, diba? So, yun ang unang iniisip ko. And then, rehabilitation, wala siyang trabaho, baka mawalan siya ng trabaho, wala pa akong alam na trabaho dito. Parang, ang dami kong naiisip sa likod ng mind ko na parang, paano kaya ako makaka-survive dito? Or, ang worst thing kasi, nung sinabi sa akin ng migration specialist, yung nag-handle ng case ko sa immigration, actually, ako yung unang-una niyang kliyente, he just got promoted. Nasabi niya, Mrs. Davis, if something happens dun sa husband mo, unfortunately, hindi ka pwedeng magstay sa Australia. Kasi nga yung principal sponsor ko, wala na. So, parang ganun ang nangyari. So, parang, ang mindset namin ni Rob nung naka-recover na siya and all. So, we were in the hospital for, I think, mga one month. So, ang buhay ko was hospital and hindi pa ako nakauwi sa bahay niya, Miko. Hindi ko pa alam kung saan siya nakatira and all that. Alam ko yung address, pero dahil nga ganun yung nangyari sa kanya. So, yeah, but I would say, yung kamarade rin nila sa trabaho, because he works with the government and he got lots of really good friends na talagang nag-support sa kanya that time. Parang every time na may dadalaw na friends, binibigyan ako ng $30, $50. Alam mo yun, yung hindi ko rin alam kung paano ko gagastusin. Wala akong idea kasi may Filipina dun sa ICU na kababayan ko. She's from Zambales as well, na we can talk the same dialect, na sinasamahan niya akong pumunta sa Chinatown, sa market. So yun ang naging buhay ko, yung 99 cents na bus loop, kung naalala mo yun dati. Yun, at saka hindi ako pumunta anywhere else. Like, I was a dedicated new wife na nag-aalaga ng asawa. Hindi ko alam na kaya pala mahirap ang trabaho ng mga nurses dito, kasi hindi kagaya sa atin na may mga kamag-anak na nagli-look after sa pasyente. Dito kasi hindi mo kailangan talaga eh. So, yun. So, dahil wala akong gagawin, wala akong ibang way to go anywhere else, hindi rin ako talaga nag-explore. I was like, and I really don't know what will happen to Rob at that time. So yeah, it was a tough time, but and then dagdatingan na siguro after a week, na-meet ko na yung family niya. And yeah, they were all supportive. Yung kapatid niya kasi nasa London. So isa lang yung kapatid niya, tapos wala na siyang magulang. So yeah, hindi talaga naging madali. Hindi talaga naging madali. At saka maraming culture shock sa akin na nangyari. Number 1 na yung pets. Nung lumabas na kami ng hospital, kukunin na rin yung pusa. 2 pusa sa vet. Alam mo ba, Miko, kung magkano yung binayaran? Parang mga around $5,000. Sabi ko, nagko-convert, syempre pag bago ka sa ibang bansa, parang nag-convert na agad yung utak ko. Sabi ko, gosh, kaya ko nang bayaran yung bahay ko dyan ha. Kasi meron akong nabiling bahay sa, through Pag-ibig sa Pilipinas. Sabi ko, talaga? Parang wow! Diabetic pa yung pusa niya. So, medyo special yung treatment doon. Nag-i-insulin yun every day, twice a day. So, yun yung mga isang culture shock sa akin. Tsaka yung accent talaga. Sobrang, hindi ko, ang best friend ni Ravi sa Welsh guy, wala talaga akong maintindihan. Kahit isang word, wala talaga. So, hindi talaga ako, hirap talaga ako sa kanya. But yeah, those were the first few months ng buhay Australia ko.
Wow. So heavy So aside from culture shock, syempre you financial struggle ka rin during that time. Paano nangyari yung from these challenges, then you become an entrepreneur? Nagsimula ka na especially this urban travel. Paano nagsimula yun?
Well, negosyante na talaga ako, Nico. Ako yung empleyado dati sa Pilipinas na pag binuksan mo yung drawer ko, ang laman nun hindi files. Mga pirated na CD, mga fake na Levi's. Alam mo yun, yung ako talaga yun, yung ganun. Kahit university time pa ako. So sa Baguio ako nag-aral sa SLU, sa dorm ako nakatara. Yung mga ka-dorm mates ko, meron kaming parang cabinet to put our clothes and all that. Ang kanila, parang proud sila na ang gaganda ng tupi ng mga damit nila and all that. Ako, hindi. Ang cabinet ko, sardina, shampoo, toyo, talagang tendera. Lumaki ako sa palengke eh. So, and I think that's where it came from. Ang lola ko talaga negosyante. So, sa kanya ako lumaki. So, parang it was in my blood talaga eh. Hindi ako magaling na empleyado, Miko. Alam ko na sa sarili ko na hindi ako magiging magaling na empleyado. So, yeah, it started, actually pinili ko ang airborne travel from another Filipina. Sabi niya that time, she's going to retire. So, I studied tourism. Ang goal namin ni Rob at that time, when he recovered and everything, I've realized, or parang mas gusto niya na stay at home mama ko. Because after that, we had two more children. So, alam mo naman dito, maliliit ang mga bata. Hindi ka talaga, unless super yaman ka, pwede kang manguha ng kahit man lang cleaner. Alam mo yon. So, yeah, I stayed at home for 5 years. And while staying at home, I'm figuring out kung ano yung pwede kong gawin after. Kasi alam ko na sa sarili ko na mabubore ako sa bahay, hindi talaga ako pang bahay. Alam ko sa sarili ko na hindi ako magaling sa ganon. It just frustrates me na hindi ako magaling sa ganon. So, I would rather deal with my strength kung saan ako marunong rather than, trying to cope with that kind of personality na hindi ako. So, ang dami nga, nung unang mga taon ko dito sa Australia, parang sinasabi ng mga circle of friends ko, buti ka pa nga stay at home ka. Like, I would love to be like that. So, kabaliktaran naman ako, naiinggit naman ako sa kanila na nagtatrabaho sila. So, yun. And it, it just a realization for me na I needed to be somewhere in a workplace. That was, yeah. So I always wanted to be a lawyer. So I took economics in SLEA. And I did try to get into UniSA. So I was fortunate enough to get in. I was the first, I think meron silang label, adult, mature something, student, non-English. I was the first entry into that. But it didn't last me long. It was not for me. It was so sad. Family law ang kinuha ko. So, it just conflicts with the culture, what we know about marriage and all those things. So, sabi ko sa sarili ko, actually, the professor was the one who told me to find something else. Kasi hindi rin para sa akin. So, sabi ko, ano bang masayang negosyo? Yung masaya lang. Yung masaya. So, yeah, and I stumbled with travel. I studied for actually 6 months for tourism. Kinuha ko yung auntie ko sa Pilipinas para mag-alaga nung anak ko. He was in kinder at that time, yung youngest ko. And yeah, it started there. The idea is to set up my own. And then, nag-open for sale yung airborne travel. Hindi ko pinalitan yung pangalan niya. So, airborne is actually in trading this year for the last 22 years. So, ganun na siya katagal. It started with a partner for a year. And then, becomes mine after that. And it was not easy as well, Miko. Kasi, nung pinili namin yun, nangyari yung MH, yung ganong scenario, nawala yung MH. That was the start. And, oh boy, it's like, ano to? And then, nahulog na naman yung parang binaril sa Ukraine yung MH. So, yeah, that was the start. And then, nag-start na mag-online ang mga tao. So, it was not easy. It was not easy. But, I mean, ito yung alam kong gawin eh. Never akong naging empleyado sa Australia, Miko. Yun ang journey ko as a worker. Hindi ko na-try maging empleyado ng kahit na anong kumpanya. So, siguro going back, I should have tried kahit minsan lang para nakita ko talaga yung culture kung paano. But Yeah. But I think I'm alright with it. Hindi siya ganun kalaking negosyo, but it was stable, and I was able to from there divert into recruitment, as you know. Yeah, I'm just trying to probably diverting the business into recruitment as well, kasi masarap yung pakiramdam na marami kang natutulungan, kasi andun ka sa posisyon na pwede mong tulungan yung mga kababayan natin. Doy, hindi ganun kadali ha. Hindi ganun kadali makideal sa mga kababayan din natin. This is not coming from, in a negative perspective, but is coming from, I think, a positive way of saying na mas alam natin na matagal na rito how Australia works, yung mga naririnig nila from kagaya natin na matagal na rito. It takes years for us to be like that, it takes years for us to do a lot of hard work, adjustments, mga broken hearts as well, para lang makakope tayo dito sa bansa na to. But in the long run anyways, I would say that I love Australia. It's my second home, and I am so grateful in this country. Sobrang nagpapasalamat ako sa Diyos na dito niya ako dinala, kasi napaka fair ng Australia. Magtrabaho ka lang dito ng mabuti, ayusin mo lang yung mga ginagawa mo, and you can be the best of who you can be. So